Just recently, Jay Slater, missing British teenager, was found after 29 days of relentless searching. Sadly, it was not the outcome that everyone was hoping for. Today, I will be taking a deep dive into the Jay Slater case and talking about everything that you need to know about it. Jay Slater was a 19-year-old bricklayer from Lancashire. He was described by his friends and family as being the most smiley person in the room and as a hard-working young lad, and that he was very loved by all who knew him. On June 13th, 19-year-old Jay Slater flew out to an island in Spain to attend a 3-day music festival with his friends Lucy Law and Brad Hargreaves. The music festival was in Playa de las Americas and is often said to be a hotspot for tourists. This was in fact his first holiday without his family being present there with him. Now on Sunday, that was the day of the music festival, and the three friends were super excited. Now apparently it was more of a rave than a music festival. It's kind of like a EDM rave music festival, if that makes sense. Now Lucy actually left the festival early that night, but Jay stayed at a nightclub in the area to continue the party. I am unsure about Brad's whereabouts, but I do know that the three had separated at this point. Jay was then hanging out with two British men that he had befriended at the rave, and that's when he decided to join them on the drive back to their Airbnb in Masca. And this is important. Masca is a very remote village. Now, only one of the men's identities have been revealed, and that is 31-year-old Ayub Qasim. Which, immediately, that's a red flag for me, because as a 31-year-old, why are you inviting a 19-year-old back to your Airbnb? You know? Well, after doing some further digging, police found that he is actually a convicted drug dealer. He told police that he invited Jay back to his place after the rave because he thought he had nowhere else to go. He thought ultimately that he was doing Jay a favor by doing this. But Jay didn't realize how far this place was from his actual accommodations. Alright, so the next morning, Jay left their accommodation at around 8 a.m. to travel home to the place where he was staying with his friends. At 8:15 a.m. on June 17th, he called Lucy and told her that he had actually missed a bus, his phone battery was on 1%, and he had cut his leg on a cactus. He also said he was in desperate need of water. Jay was last seen by a cafe owner who said the teenager had asked her about bus times before deciding not to wait 2 hours for a service, which would have been there at 10 a.m. She then saw him walk out of the village. Jay also told Lucy he was going to walk 11 hours to get home, which is interesting because if I was in that situation, I know I would wait 2 hours instead of walking 10 hours. I don't know what the thought process is there. Yeah. So at this point, he was lost, he had injured his leg, and his only method to contact his friends, his phone, was about to die. He also phoned Brad, who heard him sliding over gravel, which indicated that he had left the main road. Brad said, and I quote, "We were both laughing, and he said, 'Look where I am.' And I was like, 'I've come out to a festival.' And he didn't seem concerned on the phone until we knew how far he was." That was the last time that anyone had ever heard from him. Now, like I mentioned before, Jay didn't realize how far this Airbnb was from their accommodations. Lucy said, and I quote, "He's ended up out in the middle of nowhere. Jay was obviously thinking he would be able to get home from there. But then in the morning, he set off walking, using his maps on his phone, and ended up in the middle of the mountains with nothing around." The last location that showed on Jay's phone before it died was that he was off a path in the rural Ditano Park. This is a very mountainous area, popular with hikers in the north of the island. By 9:40 a.m., Jay was reported missing. Police helicopters, local volunteers, and sniffer dogs were all deployed to look for him. The search, however, was proven unsuccessful. They actually called off the search on June 30th of 2024. But that did not stop Jay's father and his brother. They continued tirelessly searching the valley and in nearby mountain villages for Jay or any sign of him. Days later, the search continued. There were between 30 to 40 volunteers and rescue workers, all looking to find Jay. As of July 15th, a civil guard issued a statement saying that they found human remains. The statement reads, and I quote, "The Mountain Rescue and Intervention Group of the Civil Guard has located the lifeless body of a young man in the Masca area after 29 days of constant search. Given the complexity of the case, the discovery has been possible thanks to the incessant and discreet search carried out by the Civil Guard during these 29 days, in which the natural space was preserved so that it would not be filled with curious onlookers. All evidence indicates that it could be the young British man who has been missing since June 17th in the absence of full identification. The first investigations reveal that he could have suffered an incident fall in the inaccessible area where he was found. We are awaiting results of the autopsy. As of Tuesday, July 16th, the body was examined. They took the fingerprints and they found out it was of Jay. Now, his body was found close to the site where his phone last pinged. As of this statement, officials believe that while he was on his way home, he accidentally slipped and fell. Of course, since this is a very fresh case, I'm sure over the couple of weeks there will be more information being revealed, but as the time that I'm filming this video and getting up for you folks, that's all that they know, and it's just a theory. Now, if you have been following the case at all, then you might be wondering about the allegations of Jay being spotted throughout the country. These were all false sightings. One report claimed that Jay was spotted watching a Euro football match in another village after his disappearance. They saw him celebrating in a bar for the Euro Cup matches. Another sighting led officials to Santiago del Tide, and they claimed that they spotted the 19-year-old on a bench in the town. All of these allegations and sightings actually just added another layer of complications to the case. It took away time that they should have been searching to the mountains to then go explore these leads. What's scary is that the search teams were looking right by Jay's body and were probably so close to it and didn't even realize. They definitely walked past it. Now, this is a very sad and tragic case, and it didn't have the outcome that we all hoped for. Let's just take a moment to have Jay's family and friends in our thoughts and prayers. I'm also going to try and find a GoFundMe link, and I'll have that linked in my description if you want to donate to his family. Alright folks, that's all for today's video. It is a pretty heavy topic, but I hope I can provide some clarity about this case. If you like this video and you want to see more, then let me know in the comments below. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I'll see you when I see ya. Bye.